Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I have an interesting product for you today. About a year ago or so, I tested a product called Drone Mask. And what Drone Mask is it allows you that immersive FPV experience with your camera drone where you use your mobile device for the FPV screen. So what they came up with was a really nice high quality mask that you fitted your phone in, and so you were looking at that FPV view, and then you had the cord obviously from that, the OTG cable running down to the controller. Now that one, the biggest issue I should say with it was the fact that obviously there's always touch things that you're doing on the app of whatever drone you're flying. And in order to do it with that product, you had to kind of unzip it and reach in there and try and touch. So it was an issue. And there were some other little niggling issues with it. One of the problems I have is not the problem with the drone mask, it's my eyes. The fact that I only see out of one eye at a time. And so it was difficult for me to see the whole screen, the whole FPV screen. However, if you have normal vision, and most of you do, that's not going to be a problem. Okay, so here's the box that the Drone Mask sent me. The people sent me Drone Mask 2, and they told me not to do much with this box because it may not be representative of the final product. However, let's pull it out of the box and let's take a look at it, and I can show you some of the big changes that they made to this product that I think are really going to improve it. So before I show you the mask itself, I want to show you the accessories. So one of the things that they did this time is they included the cables, because obviously you need a long cable to get down to your remote when you're holding it in front of you. So it looks to me like they've taken care of pretty much everybody. Here's a USB-C to lightning cable for iOS users like me, and this one is USB-C to USB-C, but they're not forgetting micro USB. They included a little converter here, so that's handy. A cleaning cloth, which is handy, a thank you note, and of course instructions. The other thing that they always include is a carrying bag, so that's kind of handy to carry it around in. But what you want to see is the mask itself. Okay, here's the drone mask, and you know, it looks pretty similar to what we saw in the previous version. You know, there's the top, the head strap here, and looking in the goggles itself, you can see there's two high quality lenses in there that you're looking at your mobile device through, and really soft foam around the side here. I can tell you, I've already tried it. I looked the other day, I used it to watch a YouTube video, and I needed my reading glasses, and they fit in here within this foam, no problem at all. It wasn't a big deal. So this is where the real magic of this device has changed. One of the things that I remember on the first version is being able to slide it for distance was a little bit hard. They've improved that. It slides very smoothly there, and that's in the unlocked position. You simply twist this and it locks it in place. However, I think it's, honestly, I never had any problem with it. I just left it unlocked and had no problem at all. Now the big thing is, okay, how am I going to reach in and change something on the touch screen on my app? Well, look at this little bit of genius here. They have some cutouts here with some flaps over them, and you simply put your finger in there and you can touch any part of that touch screen that you need to on either side, and that pops into place. And of course, the first thing you're going to tell me is, what about light leaks? I can tell you, when I watched a video with it, I saw no light leaks at all, and I was messing around trying to do that. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the drone mask, let me unzip it here, and you can see there's the lens. So it's really easy to put your mobile device in here. You can see I've got my iPhone in there, and you just, these two hooks with the elastic strap, you just hook them around the edges of the your mobile device, and it's just that simple. That's how it fits in there. So that's how your mobile device fits in there, and yeah, I just put it on a YouTube video there, Hoovie's Garage, and it just fits in there. These two hooks on the elastic strap hook around your mobile device. and then you simply zip it up. So one of the cool things they did is they gave us a little window here for the camera on your mobile device. So if you wanted your camera to be able to look out, you can just simply pull that panel off of there and have an opening. So I've got this, yeah, that video is kind of upside down, but that kind of gives you a look of what it looks like in the lenses there. So that's why I put that video on there. But anyway, what's the next step? The next step is we need to take this guy out in the field and try it out. So I can see some advantages. If you're flying in the bright sunlight, not only does it protect you so that you can see the screen, in other words, keep glare off of your screen. The other thing it does is probably with the sun, or the phone not out in the bright sun, keep it from overheating as well and staying nice and bright. So let's get this guy out in the field and let's give it a shot. Hey, okay, I'm out in the field with the drone mask, and we're going to give it a shot here. I've got the DJI Mini 2 with me today, and that kind of brings up another point in this with use of the drone mask. Now, we know a lot of drones now are coming with their own controller with built-in FPV. And some of them would have an output where you could output to your phone, some of them would not. But that's a consideration with this thing. But because I chose the Mini 2 because it comes with the RCN1, we'll simply hook up to we'll use the supplied lightning cable, and we'll remove this cable and we'll hook it up to that. It's good that Drone Mask supplies these cables now. And like I said, in my case, I need that lightning cable for my iPhone. But this will simply plug in right here on the back of the RCN1 controller, and it's got plenty of room there, and looks like that's going to work just fine. Now I have the iPhone 14, and it's going to be really easy to strap this guy in. So this is that window that I was telling you about. You can remove that patch if you want your camera to be able to see out the front of the drone mask, but I'm not worried about that right now. We are just going to strap this guy in, and it's very simple, that easy. So you can see that it's held in there quite solidly. Now the next question is, okay, how are you going to thread this cord? Now I remember when I used the older version of this, I simply went through a corner of the zipper here, but now that you have, they put these doors in here to reach through, I think that may be the way to do it. Now, is that going to cause a light leak? I can't say. I'll let you know when we're in there. Yeah, you know what? I changed my mind there, because look at how this sticks out. So you're going to have to go through the zipper part to get that plugged in. I almost think that maybe they should have used a 90-degree plug here, because the way this is, it's going to have to go right there on the side, and then you'll zip this one all the way around. And there you go. We're all set up, and we've got the drone mask connected to the controller. So the other thing that I noticed when I was trying it out at home is that I had to, and there's the unlock position, and I do like the way they've improved the way this slides. I had to use reading glasses, but they fit in here quite well. Let's see, yeah, if you're going to be able, I don't know if you're going to be able to see anything in there or not. Let's see if we can get it up close here to see if you can see anything in the iPhone. I'm just seeing a reflection right now. So I've just got some cheap reading glasses I can use. You can see they've got some pretty thin earpieces, so that should fit well in the foam here on the drone mask. Okay, so I've got the DJI Fly app fired up in the goggles, and you're not going to be able to see much here. But I can tell you one of the things right off the bat is my right eye and left eye don't work well together, and I was already having problems seeing the left side of the screen. However, that's my problem. Hey, let me turn this around because we're kind of facing in the sun, so that should be a little better. That'll give you a little better look of kind of what it looks like inside the mask. That's about the best we're going to do. But let me get everything fired up, and let's take the drone for a flight. And I'll just kind of real time kind of walk through what I see, and as I have to use these doors to change settings, how difficult or not difficult that can be. Okay, I've got the drone fired up and it's ready to go. I think I'm going to well, I was just going to say I was going to take off without the mask on, but you know what? Let's do this the way most people would probably do it. So I'm going to slip this mask on, and we'll go from there. So you're going to have a place to sit down and place your things. I'm in the back of my Chevy Tahoe right now, but I want to be able to set the controller down. You almost need a table to do this because you got to stretch this out, and especially if you've got glasses on like I do. And I had to put my hat on backwards because it is a hot day today, and I'm a bald guy. So, and then pushing those glasses in, and yeah, I'm pretty comfortable here. I can tell you, I can see that my phone is a little bit crooked in the so I'm reaching in with my fingers to kind of straighten it out. And yeah, so the first thing I need to do is click on Go Fly. And I can tell you right off the bat, with my eyes, I am not seeing the left-hand side of the screen very well. But again, that's my problem. So I'm clicking in to click Go Fly. Well, the little door is kind of in the way so where I could see the screen. But there I got it, as you can see. And let me see if I can grab the controller here. So it looks like I've got the controller in my hand. And yeah, can I do reach in and do the automated takeoff? Let's give that a try, see if I can touch that. And I did, and then I'm going to reach in with my other finger to hit that takeoff button. And that was a stretch. That didn't work. So yeah, let me try that again. And maybe I try it with the same finger. And again, I'm struggling to see the left side of the screen, but that's my problem, not the drone mask. There we go. And let's see. See, that's right in the center of the screen. Yeah, that's going to be tough. I'm just telling you. There we go. There, I got it. Okay, so we were able to take off there, and I can see what's going on. I'm going to go straight up with the drone. And again, let's see if we can start recording, and I'm going to have to reach in to do that. And that was very easy because it's on the far right-hand side of the screen. I'm going to pick the drone up, drop the camera down, and I can tell you one of the things about it is, whereas normally I would be visibly looking at the drone to see where it was in space in relation to other things. So there you can see me sitting down there. And yeah, I mean, I have to tell you, if I was somebody that could see out of both of my eyes, I just think this would be phenomenal. I've got a really great view of the right-hand side of the screen, not so much of the left-hand side. So I kind of have to, because I know the Fly app so well, it's really blurry. If I close my right eye, I can see it. So that's going to be an issue. If you're somebody like me that has sight issues, in other words, only looking out of one eye, this is going to be that's going to be something you'll have to think about. But of course, most people don't have those issues. So this thing is going to appeal to them. And I can tell you that one of the things that I talked about earlier was that you have the potential of your screen darkening on your iPhone. I can tell you my screen just did darken a little bit, but thanks to this drone mask, I can see everything perfectly well. I mean, it's not as bright as it was earlier, but man, I'm telling you, this view is awesome. Yeah, this is really cool. Kind of do a slow yaw around here, and the Mini 2, it's just the drone that doesn't let you down, does it? So I just heard a car go by, and that's another thing that situational awareness, and that's something to think of. There I am right there. I heard a car go by. I don't know if it was in front of me or behind me. It may have been that white car you see right there. You know, that's one of the things about wearing a mask. And of course, FPV guys are very familiar with that, so it's nothing new to them. Looking into the sun here, but gosh, I could just tell you, you know, this is just such a great FPV view. Even with me only looking out of my right eye and seeing this, and yeah, listen, comfort wise, do I know I have a mask on? Yeah, I do. Okay, so let me see if I can manipulate the controls. Obviously, I can't see my controller like I normally would, but I know the RCN1 controller. Let's see if we can go into sport mode. And we did. I found that with my thumb. So, you know, if you're familiar with your controller, you're not going to have any problem in that regard. And yeah, back out over the field here. We'll go out here and go out behind the Walmart and come back. And yeah, typical of the Mini 2 in speed mode, it dips the camera. That is perfectly normal for this drone because it has to pitch so far forward that it ends up lifting up the screen. Now, yeah, it's telling me that I need to adjust the antenna. And here is a problem for me. I can't see the telemetry on the left side of the screen very well. So I'm raising an altitude. Yeah, and like I said, this is my problem, not the drone mask's problem. Because if you've got two good eyes, you're going to see that perfectly well. But I'm just telling you about it because it is my perspective. So yeah, now we're bringing it back and should get, you know, it's telling me to adjust the antennas, but we'll get that signal back a lot stronger here pretty quick. I'm kind of frozen up on FPV there for a second. Now it's picking back up. What happens is when you turn around like that, and I can see my meter on the top right-hand side of the screen, and it is in the orange, and I'm not faced directly at the drone. So that's another issue. You know, you're sitting in a chair. When I'm standing up, I can kind of turn around and I can face the drone. With this guy, I suppose you could do it while you're standing. I know FPV guys do. Let's try something here. Let's go down and see if we can do a loop around the, see if this will help me do a nice steady loop around the flag here. I'm going to go back into normal mode, then cine mode, and I was able to do that just by feel on the controller. You guys are probably seeing that on the action camera. And so I want to see, you know, I guess what I'm trying to do here is often I'm looking down at my sticks when I'm doing a move like this. Let's see if I can do it without looking. And, you know, kind of feel where the where you've got those sticks at. And yeah, we're doing fine. Yeah, it's moving right around just fine. The big advantage I see here, you know, like I said, if you're an iPhone user like me, or I haven't heard a lot of Android people having the problem, but I know a lot of us using iPhones, we get that screen dimming. And boy, this guy is definitely a solution for that. I'm in the bright, hot sun right now. This is probably our last really warm day of the year today. Yeah, we're getting that rotation pretty good. So I can say, you know, you get to know your sticks and you're just fine. So let's throw it back into normal mode. And I'm hearing a lawnmower or something. And again, that's what I want to talk to you about, situational awareness. I can hear him. I have no idea where he's at. So we may lose that action too. Let's just bring this guy in and land it. Hopefully that thing will last that long. Still record. Drop the camera down, and I can see that just fine. So let's see how comfortable I am just landing this guy next to my truck. Whereas normally, you know, I would be looking straight up at the drone when I'm doing this kind of maneuver. Let's bring this guy down, straight down here. Down on the stick. 59% battery, so there we go. It should pick up the camera here in a second. And it did. Okay, there we go. Let me see if I can reach in here and stop recording. And I did. Okay, off with the mask. Yeah, my camera is telling me that recording stopped. It was just sitting there baking in the sun, so I'm going to shut it off. Hey, okay, the drone mask with the DJI Mini 2 and the RC N1 controller, pretty good combo. You know, you can see how, I'll show you again how this zips in here. So I ended up, at first I thought maybe I could run the cord out the bottom through one of the little access holes, but I'd say not. Just zip it on the side like this, and that seemed to work pretty good. And I also can say that I didn't see any light leaks. Now, I thought this is a pretty good system. Let me, you know, I can show you how your finger kind of goes through these little flaps, and then that falls back down, and that's what keeps the light out of the. Well, you'd be reaching in. Yeah, no, you'd be reaching in like that to touch the screen. So I did have some issues when I was trying to touch the center of the screen. Yeah, it was kind of hard to reach in there. So that's something to think about. But that's a relatively minor thing. I think as they definitely have improved the product with regard to being able to touch that touchscreen, because previously you had to unzip it. And then the other thing I'm going to say is just the mechanism itself works a lot better. I remember the old one was very, very stiff, and it was hard to pull this in and out to adjust it. That works very well right now. As far as fit on my nose, yeah, there's a little weight on the bridge of your nose. I think you're going to find that with any goggles, but more importantly, this cushion on the side, I didn't have any problem with glasses. Let me kind of show you how those glasses kind of fit in there. And let me tell you, I didn't even know that I had glasses on. It just worked well. Hey, okay, so in conclusion, let me see if I can put this guy on again. There we are, the drone mask 2. And yeah, I even was able to reach the controller. Yeah, I think this is a good solution for somebody if you're particularly in bright sunny conditions, and it does definitely give you an immersive view. There are some limitations. Like I said, it's a considered setup. Obviously, you're doing a lot more to set this guy up than you would be just pulling out a controller and flying. However, it's worth it to be able to get that good clear view of the FPV screen for many people. Again, my limitation is my eyes. That's nothing against this product. So anyway, I guess that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I do appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And yes, of course, we will see you on the next one. The Drone Mask 2. See you guys later.